The Airstream. Let's talk about it. I know I've made a lot of these videos and you probably look at me and you're like, this girl just can't seem to get it together. What is the deal? And it's not that I buy a lot of stuff and I make so many bad purchases, but as humans, like, we all make bad purchases, right? We don't intend to, but it happens. And every year I think I get a little bit better, but I still have my fails here and there. And I think by reflecting on them and sharing them, I at least can learn from them, and maybe you learn something too, or at least you find it kind of entertaining. So today I'm gonna be going through, in chronological order, the worst purchases that I made in 2020. My first worst purchase came in January. Yeah, I did not start the year off great, but let's be real. Who did start 2020 off great? Well, I guess you could have started it off great, but it just went downhill forever and really quickly. Anyways, January, you know, think back January, like, Americans weren't too worried about anything. Nothing was really in the media yet. And I took a trip to Hawaii. I was really excited about this trip. I got a great deal in the hotel. I actually made a whole video about how to get hotels for much cheaper, which I'll have it linked below. It's like the best hack in the world, I'm telling you, it's really good. And I was just really excited for this trip because it was my second year living full-time in Seattle and I wanted to go to Hawaii and escape and get some sun. I didn't know how to deal with the rain all the time yet. Well, my first mistake here was I did not really research the weather patterns in Hawaii. I just assumed, oh, a tropical island, it must be nice all the time. But actually, come to find out, just because it's Hawaii doesn't mean they don't also have like a rainy season. In fact, it's a tropical island. Of course they have a rainy season. Not quite the weather I was dreaming of. From rain to more rain. So I didn't really think that one through. And I was a bit disappointed when we got there and it was just rainy the whole time, and I truly just could have lived without the trip. I didn't really have a memorable time. I didn't really plan anything out well. And deep down, what that trip was all about to me, I think, is like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I needed a video idea and I thought of something and I was like, okay, I'll just travel. That was something I did a lot before the pandemic. I would travel to escape, like, not knowing what to do with my life. And this was a perfect scenario where I was doing it again and it didn't pay off. I regretted the trip and I didn't have that good of a time. Now, after really being locked down for so long, it forced me to not just book trips to, like, escape, which is what I was doing. Now I reflect on it and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many times where I just spent so much money on trips because I just didn't know what to do. And I was like, that is gonna be the answer, travel, and I'll film it and that'll be good. I truly think throughout this year of 2020, I really found myself not being able to travel to just, like, escape made me think really hard about what I want to do with my life, and that just changed my life. But I can get into that in a later video. I have to say, those trips that I impulsively took that were very meaningless and I just took them too frequently so they became even more meaningless were just a total waste of money, and that's just something I'm not going to do going forward. Number 2, worst purchase. On my birthday, February 10th, I rented a luxury car and it was my 25th birthday. Growing up, probably when I was like 15 or something stupid, I was just like, oh my gosh, on my 25th birthday, I want to, like, rent a crazy car, like a Ferrari or something, just because I can. Because when you turn 25 here in America, that's when you can finally rent a car without any underage fees. Like, you have nothing stopping you finally. And it's a great feeling of freedom, because there were many times in the past that I was traveling and it was so annoying having to pay an underage fee or not being able to rent the car at all. It really sucks. And so it felt really good to turn 25. Honestly, like, a couple days before, I was thinking about it and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. That's a dumb idea. Like, I thought about that when I was 15. I don't really feel like renting some car. And then just, like, last minute, I did it anyways. And I rented this Maserati and I think it was like $300 for a couple of days plus gas. I just regret it. I don't know. It was dumb. I guess it was a flex. I think I realized I regretted it when I spent that $300 renting this car that's just like this material item that was for this soul-fulfilling prophecy that I made up when I was 15, and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really care at all. And then later that day of my birthday, I rented a hot tub boat for me and all my friends to go on, and it costed about the same amount, like $250. I just had so much more fun spending my money on that and that, like, experience versus, like, renting the car, which was also kind of an experience, but it was also kind of a material thing to be like, I'm renting this expensive car. I guess you could still say it's kind of an experience, but I just didn't value that experience very much. And so I learned from that. 1, I don't really care about, like, really crazy cool cars. 2, just because you had this idea in your head when you were younger does not mean that you need to, like, fulfill that stupid little idea, okay? Like, there's a reason you forgot about it probably. About the end of April is when I made my third worst purchase. This one's a little complicated. The Airstream. Let's talk about it. I think everyone saw this one coming. Welcome to my latest life crisis. Here's the thing about the Airstream. I'm actually really proud of this purchase in a way because I bought this Airstream in April and it was like right before the big rush of people buying RVs. I'm actually proud of myself. Like I was able to find a gutted Airstream before the big rush of people buying RVs. I seriously like thought about it just like 2 weeks before it really happened. I was like, man, I feel like people are gonna wanna buy RVs and people are gonna do this, and I was right. And so I snatched one up so quick. What happened was I was sitting around bored during the pandemic, pondering my life. I was like, what do I want to do? I was on dwell.com and I saw really cool interiors and architecture and design. It made me so badly like, oh, I wish I could renovate something. You know what I mean? But like, I can't buy a house right now. Well, I can buy this Airstream that I found on Craigslist for $6,000 because I see other articles of people redoing those. It just felt like this like attainable thing I could get immediately. And just because I could get it immediately, like I emailed the people and then they responded, and the next day me and my dad went to go pick up the Airstream. That doesn't mean that like the dream was gonna happen immediately. It's taken me so long in life to be like, you need to wait. Good things take time, just wait. So the reason that it is a worst purchase for the year of 2020 is because, you know, I bought it and I kind of gave up on it. So we've made the decision to kind of take a break from the Airstream. We're coming up on almost a year of having it. It's just been sitting in my parents' driveway and I feel bad about it. I do, and everyone asks about it and I'm like, shoot, I honestly kind of forgot about it. Once I actually bought it and we started spending money on fixing it up, that's when I finally was able to realize, oh, this is a money pit. I didn't really think of it as a money pit when I bought it because I was like, oh, it's so cheap. But for what it is, you know, this big aluminum tin can thing, I've really come to this realization, like buying an Airstream and buying an RV, if you're not living in it full time, it's like your recreational activity mobile thing. It's kind of like buying a boat. Like it's just a money pit. And any money that I put into it, I don't know if I'm gonna get it back. You know what I mean? Like it's such a niche thing. Like if I put $50,000 worth of renovations, like I don't know if one day when I go to sell it, I will actually get $50,000 for it. It's not as safe of a thing to put your money into versus like renovating a house or something like that. So for that reason, it is a bad purchase. It's totally a bad purchase to buy one of these things. Unless you fix it up and you put it on Airbnb and you make it like a business, which if I'm putting all that money, that's probably what me and my dad are gonna end up doing with it. So here's the thing. Here's the game plan with the Airstream. Yes, we are going to get back to work on it. I'm going to see this thing through. My dad especially wants to see it through. If it weren't for him, like I probably would have given up on it.
But we do have a better idea for this.
We know a long time ago. I had other financial priorities come up within the rest of the year, so we decided to take a break from it. Took a break all winter because it was raining. It's not fun to work on it in the rain. It's, you know, sitting outside. And now that it's getting back to spring and summer, if I have the financial ability to be putting more money into it, but also saving my own money and other things, then we will get back into it. We will though. We're definitely going to. I can't tell you like exactly when. And I've had to really sit on it and think about the fact that this is a money pit. It can't be my top financial priority to be fixing this up right now. And then I'm like, okay, well, we'll have it, we'll enjoy it. Should we make it an Airbnb eventually? Like, do we need to find a plot of land for it? First, I was so short term with it, and now I have to be a little more long term with it. For 2020, it was a total waste of money to buy it when I did. Like, I could just have saved that money, which would have been nice. And then like, when I'm really ready for a project like that, I could have done it then. But right now, I'm just like not ready to keep going with the project. So that's why it's a bad purchase. But if you make it like an Airbnb and then it makes money, it can be a good purchase. If anyone's wondering, this is the status of it right now. Here it is. Here is the current status of the Airstream. Streamy's wearing a hat right now, but check it out. The frame that we worked on all summer, looking great. There's underneath, you know, it's all looking good. The letters we repainted, those are looking really good still. I just haven't been out here with it for a while, but being out here and on a nice day is getting me really excited to work on it again. Looking at like the freshly polished spots that, well, they're not fresh anymore, they were from last summer, but looking at how I put in hours. My arms were so sore for days polishing this thing, and it's still looking really good. I was afraid that, you know, with the bad weather, it would just like go back to looking cloudy, I guess, but it's actually still looking really good. My dad loves it though still. He loves it. I mean, I still love it. I'm still really excited about it when we do get going with it again. We even have design renderings and stuff. I want you guys to be excited. I promise we're gonna stick with it. Your encouragement, I see all the comments. Like, I promise there will be a day where it takes its first journey. Don't worry, I promise we will. And I'm still very excited about it. Priorities got crazy this year, and that's that. My number 4 worst purchase, I'm gonna group them together. The Dyson hair straightener that I bought and the Dyson Light that I bought. Yeah, I fully regret these. Like, that was totally dumb of me. This was also like, I just didn't know what videos to make during the pandemic, and I thought buying something expensive would have this shock value, and actually it was just super lame of me to do that. The straightener I just didn't think was worth the money because I don't like straightening my hair anymore. I only do blowouts in my hair, which I do use the Dyson hairdryer. It is a great product. I didn't need the straightener. Very dumb of me to buy. The Light, the $900 Dyson Light. Oh my gosh, that thing is not worth the money, I will say, at all. Fully regretted that even the day I got it. I think there's video clips and I'm just kind of like, this is it. It's only this light. Honestly, not super impressed. This is seriously it. I am happy to say, you guys, I sold these 2 things. I tried to recoup a little bit of my money. I planned on doing this video, like me trying to sell things that I regret buying. Never fully panned out, but I did sell these 2 things, so I'll show you what they sold for. Some guy bought the straightener for $250 cash off of me for his girlfriend for Christmas, and some guy Venmo'd me $450 for the Dyson Light. So I actually was able to recoup half of the money that I spent, which I think is pretty good. I do think Dyson makes great products, but buy the Dyson products that you need, not the ones that you want. If you need a vacuum, a Dyson vacuum is great. If you need a hairdryer, it is great. No one needs a Dyson Light. No one does. No one needs a $900 Dyson Light. If you need like the best top of the line hair straightener, I mean, it is a great hair straightener, I will say, but I didn't need it. So it really is like, invest in nice quality products, but only the ones that you need. I was doing it with things that I did not need at all. I just kind of wanted them. That's where I went wrong. I'm not saying don't buy Dyson products because Dyson does make great products. I just didn't need those. Number 5 worst purchase was my house in Palm Springs. No, I'm just kidding. There was a time where I was like, is this house gonna make the list? This is not the experience that I expected moving into this house.
Would I be wrong to say there's a little buyer's remorse?
Palm Springs house, I do not regret buying. What I do regret buying, oh my God, I feel so dumb for this one, is any furniture that I purchased and any time I wasted researching for furniture. I wasted so much time. I think I was just excited about getting to occupy the house. I wasted so much time researching furniture, and I bought furniture before even getting into the house. I didn't blue tape it out and measure it and all this stuff. When I tell you not a single thing that I ordered before owning the house came and fit just right and like felt really good about that purchase, I mean, not a single thing. I regret every single thing that I bought for that house before occupying it. The green bed, it looks off. The bed is so low to the ground. The nightstands that I ordered.
Nightstands were just too tall. Too big a nightstand and too small a nightstand.
The rugs, I'm gonna have to cancel the order. I learned a huge lesson on that one. Maybe don't buy stuff before occupying the house yet, because you don't know. I'm not an interior designer. I really respect what interior designers do, especially after all of my mess ups, but that was a big mistake because there was just several little purchases within there. We're keeping a lot of them and I don't love them, but we'll find spaces for them. But if I could go back in time, I absolutely would have just waited. And I think that about does it for my worst purchases of 2020. I learned a lot from these. I really did. And I think 2021 might be the year that I don't need to make these videos anymore, because I've learned so much from all of these videos about how I feel about material things and trips and life experiences and what's really worth it and when to wait before you buy something. I really just keep getting better and better with my purchases and spending my money. I don't know, maybe this helps you in some way. I'll have my other worst purchase videos linked below if you want to see where I started versus where I'm at now. And don't worry, the Airstream will be making a comeback hopefully soon. The weather is getting really nice here in Seattle, and this summer I definitely want to have some Airstream videos go up. So I'm really sorry. Thank you for your patience on waiting for those videos. I will get some soon. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. And if you want more of me, go check out my vlog channel. It's where I show my daily life, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.